Alright, welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today we got a Walking Dead comic cover reveal for issue 166, titled No Surrender. Now here's the thing with this cover. It's comical. I'll get to that in a second. If you're new to collecting the Walking Dead comics, the single issues, I see a lot of fans asking, when is the new issue? When is the new issue? The easiest way, besides Google, the easiest way to remember, they changed their releasing schedule to the first week in each month. It's usually the first week. It's the first Wednesday of every month, and you should have no problem getting a guesstimate as to when the issue is going to release up until you look online and get a definite date. But if you want to be ready, like plan your trip to the comic shop, just remember it releases in the very beginning of each month. Once a month, unless, like we'll see for issue 163, they're gonna do some type of special 2 issues each month. We'll get to that anyway. Why is this issue comical? The cover, at least. I was expecting some type of epic reveal for the cover image, because on the previous issue we have Heath looking kind of scared, maybe crawling for a gun, and you got One Eye, you got Sherry, you got Tough Talk and Tara. They're standing there, impending doom, and they look like they're about to take over, you know what I mean? Then you look at this cover and it's like, wow, that shit didn't last long, did it? You got Tough Talk and Tara, she looks like she's knocked the fuck out. You got Sherry, she's also knocked the fuck out. You got the One Eye guy, he's about to get knocked the fuck out. I like this though. You get Dwight about to beat ass. Now, I kind of wish they went a little bit less revealing with this cover and maybe gave us a cover that was Dwight, but it looked like Rick from issue 75. Remember, Rick is standing there with that face. He's right about to beat up Pete from Alexandria. I think that would have been really cool because, Dwight kind of looks like Rick, but you'd have his burnt face and he's taken up more of a leadership role. I thought that would have been a nice throwback because this cover is kind of comical and kind of revealing because, like I said, they were about to take shit over. They are the new threat, the real threat. And then we get this cover and it's like, wow, that's not a threat at all. Okay, focus our attention back to the radio group because apparently Ohio's going to be more important at this time. I just think there's so many cool little ideas you could have done with the Saviors attacking them while they're dealing with walkers overflowing the streets of Alexandria. There's just something neat and cool there, Maybe the Saviors get covered in guts and they sneak in and out of the herd trying to pick them off. And then you have the good guys who actually finally, out of desperation, maybe they put on the walker skins like the Whisperers, even though Dwight hates it, he doesn't want to do it, but how dare the Saviors do this? You know what I'm saying? Rick puts on a Whisperer skin. It looks like they might just be done for, and then Rick even sneaks in and out, slicing throats, killing people. Some cool shit like that, man, just, you could do something and run it over the course of 2 or 3 issues, build up some suspense, make it look like it's going to go in a different direction. I don't know, just you can have fun with it is all I'm saying. I just hope it doesn't come to them show up, Negan bitch slaps them, and then they go, okay, fine. The Saviors need to die. These Saviors gotta die, no matter what. Maybe they get to escape and they run into Beta and them later on, and then when they come back, you have the Saviors and the Whisperers have even more people. I know a lot of people don't want the repetition with fighting and yada yada yada, but I do. I want to see constant war and struggle and shit, because when you read history books at the Wild West, man, you get some crazy stories where every single day it felt like people were fighting, new towns being built, and you get like these little mini groups of outlaws. They will just come into town, half of the group dies, they regroup with more members, they come back, rob a bank, almost all of them die, one member goes, regroups with more members, they come back into town. Oh, there's a ton of different stories, so I'm up for something like that as long as it's creative and they put a little twist each time, you know what I'm saying? I think that would be pretty cool. Alright, so are we missing anything? This comes out in April. You have Tara and Sherry knocked out, this guy about to get knocked out, and the issue previous, 165, this is going to come out in March, beginning of March. You have apparently the Saviors showing up at Alexandria. This is likely going to happen at the end of 164. They usually do that where it's going from one issue to the next, with the cover representing the story in between or the long story that's playing out. So you got a lot of blood here. So I think either Heath is saved by Dwight. Not to say that these covers are going to be exactly what's happening, because we know the covers can be symbolic, the covers can be anything they want. That's really rare, but oftentimes, especially recently, the covers depict something that's actually happening in the story, like almost panel for panel, you know what I mean? A lot of the earlier covers had a lot more symbolism, I felt. Ever since the New Beginning, we're getting a lot of exact panels. So you get a lot of blood here. This is probably after the Whisperer herd that the Whisperer sent came in and took out Alexandria. Maybe Heath does actually die. Then again, would it be too predictable to put him on the cover at this point? Would he be a big enough death? What would his death do for the story? Would it move the story in any way? I'm not really convinced it would at this time, so I would probably prefer Dwight to just save his ass right now. Now, the cover for 164, this is going to come out in February 15th, and we are getting a variant cover. Now, we are getting a Wildcats mimicking. What they're doing is, since Image Comics has been up and running for 25 years, they are going to do some throwback covers. And you get Invincible artist Ryan Ottley, who did this cover, which this is a really cool looking cover. But I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison for those fans wondering, why is Carl smoking weed? Why does Jesus have a katana? Well, this is why. If you look at the cover, you get Negan up top. He kind of looks like that dude with an M on his face. And then that Deadpool ripoff, he got two guns. The chick down there kind of looked like Michonne. Then to the right, you got Carl. You see what I mean? How it kind of lines up. I think Ryan Ottley did a really kick-ass job here. So from what we hear, this is going to be a normal variant where you can go into your comic shop. It's only $3 for the variant. It even has the price right there, so I don't think they're going to pull any fast ones like they did with issue 163. We do have Negan with his bat. I love how they do that because some fans go nuts. I'm still shocked how many fans go nuts where they're like, Negan doesn't have his bat. Why is he holding Lucille? Oh my God, did he make a new Lucille? You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, chill. These covers are made months and months in advance, and the artist, maybe when he drew this cover, he didn't even know Lucille got, smashed up. Maybe he did know, and he doesn't care, because it's all about drawing a cool cover, you know what I mean? So, also coming out in February, we got double issues coming up. On the 1st, we have this issue 163. You guys already know. We got 2 variant covers. We're not going to go over this again, but basically the issue is 25 cents. It's a celebration issue, and this is probably going to be enough material to do a whole new discussion some other day. But the idea from what I'm reading in articles, because I don't support this, I don't agree with it, you guys already know, you can listen to my older videos. Basically, from what we're hearing in articles, they're selling this at a loss at 25 cents an issue just to make so many friggin' comics that new readers easily pick them up, And it's at a point in time in the story, which this is the part where I'm worried about. They make a point to say that you can pick this comic story up, jump into the story at this point in time, and you're good to go. I strongly disagree with that. Who the hell would want to start this story right now? You miss all the story up until this point. I just don't see the logic in that. But you know what? For some new readers, they might pick it up, and then they might go back to the older issues and then read the story up until this point. Sure, absolutely. Where I do feel like this doesn't really matter is if you got, 70,000 readers every single month, and then you pull this kind of promotional stunt, right? And then next month or the month after that, you got 70, 80,000 readers. Was it really worth it? I mean, I can see if you have 70,000 readers a month and then you do something like this and then you're pulling in, 90,000 readers, like you pulled in a considerable amount that you can actually see. I have a feeling that we're not even going to be able to visually see new readers in the statistics, you know what I mean? Because they already sold, 750,000 copies? In a way, I am actually hopeful that's going to help drive the price down of of the variant covers, because keep in mind, they normally only sell just under 100,000 issues. If you look at the stats, unless the stats online are wrong, they usually only sell 100,000 issues. They sold 700,000, 750,000. So that's like 7 times as many as they normally do every month. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that's going to drive down the price of these variants, so that way it'll put it in more hands of the fans. As far as the standard cover for 163, that thing is never going to be worth any money. Simply because there's just going to be so many more copies out there floating around than they do have of fans. Like, not just a little bit more, but a ton more. You know what I mean? It's all about supply and demand. So that's all the covers we got from now until April. I think 163 variant and 164 variant, those are my 2 favorite looking covers. Ryan Ottley's is probably close to being my favorite out of this set. 165 and 166 are cool, but they kind of exterminated my hype for what's going on with the Saviors. I don't want it to be one issue, one and done, you know what I mean? Like it starts in one issue, ends in the very next issue. I was hoping there was a little more struggle there, you know, really hit them while they're down. With that said, that's all my thoughts and opinions on these covers. This wasn't really like a prediction video. I just wanted to sit down and chit chat with you guys about the covers coming up. Now, thoughts and opinions are always welcome. Please put those down in the comment box below. If you're new here, we cover everything that has to do with the world of The Walking Dead, in the comic, in the show, the companion series, the video games, and we're starting to expand this year, so stay tuned for a whole lot more.